It's okay.
Okay, so let's continue. We're about to finish today's lecture. So we've looked at the credibility part, and we shall look at again at validation. But the last section of in the last part of, we have seen our research philosophy, research approach, strategies, time horizon. And now we're going to look at the last part, the innermost part, which is data collection methods or tools. Yeah? The data collection methods or tools. Now, many times we've talked about
Doctor.
research. Yes, please.
We can't see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. Apologies for that, sorry. Okay, I think you can now all see the screen, eh?
It's okay now.
Okay.
Yes. Doctor, I have a question about we proceed about the credibility.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you spoke about that lady who was doing her research on an individual.
Yes.
And yes, but that won't it affect the credibility if you are focusing on an individual? Because what if you, the person doing the research, and the person whom you are doing the research on, maybe you correlate, you have the same personality. So
Yes.
the credibility of that research, won't it be compromised?
I think that's a very, very good question, Eric. Very, very good question. It talks about objectivity of our findings, and especially when you're doing qualitative research, that is something that can very, very easily be compromised. That is why, actually, this is where the positivists, promoters really come in to question the validity or credibility of qualitative research. I spend so much time with you. What are the chances that I may decide to sympathize with you? And here, Eric, I'll answer from experience. This is where the researcher really needs to be. One, it can happen either way, even with the positivist side or the quantitative side. But let me speak from the phenomenologist side. I remember when I was doing my research, and remember I was with a community. And one of the key points, one of the key variables, or one thing that does have an effect in a rural context is the issue of poverty, material poverty. It's something that is glaring. Now, I remember, however, during one of the sessions we had, there was a group of healthcare workers in this health facility. Now, when I say healthcare workers, I'm using the term very, very loosely. In a rural context, we have what we call health center 1s, health center 2s, health center 3s, and so on and so forth. The health center 1 is made up of people called VHTs, community members called VHTs, village health team. So the VHTs are ordinary community members. It could be a teacher, it could be a mother in somebody's in a certain household. This individual is voted, selected by the community to be a VHT. Then the VHT is trained. This VHT is trained to carry out basic healthcare for the community. So, for example, when I say basic healthcare, they may do things like move around their community to find out who has a latrine, who has a bathroom, who has given birth. This, what do they call these things, where you wash dishes, utensils, and and you put your utensils to dry. I don't know what they call them. But anyway,
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
In Buganda, we call it akatandalo.
Thank you. Thank you. They find out who has that, who doesn't, who has just given birth, who has been immunized, those basic things. Then the other, they are even trained a bit further to give first line treatment. So for, let's say, children 5 years and below, they are given medication to treat things like malaria, diarrhea, and cough. Yeah, those three things: malaria, diarrhea, and cough. So they will give treatment and then refer you to go to the health center 2, where there may be a nurse, or a health center 3, where there will be a medical officer. Yeah. So that is typically the structure in a very, very rural context. So when I say we would have workshops with healthcare workers, these are the typical ones, the VHTs that I'm referring to. So I remember one of the things one of the participants said, because I was doing my research, but there was also a project going on with donors. So I remember one of the VHTs saying that we were promised bicycles. The bicycles were given, broke down. We really need bicycles. So at the end of that discussion, I remember there was another lady who was also one from the donor group. I remember her coming to whisper to me saying, "Look at this man. He has a whole motorcycle, but he wants to be given a free bicycle." So I remember thinking, yeah, she's right. These people have a begging mentality. But immediately I thought about it. I remembered that is me not being objective. Okay? That is me not being objective, because that is his reality. It's not mine. Eric, do you get the difference? That is his reality. It's not mine. So as a researcher, I had to pull myself back and report back exactly what this VHT felt about it. Whether I felt he was over begging or not, it was his reality. So in other words, in qualitative research, one of the ways you can ensure to be objective is to report exactly what this person says. When you give the narrative, be as precise as use the exact words this person said. Whether you side with this person or you don't. That is how you can attain objectivity in qualitative research or in phenomenology. Am I making sense, Eric?
Yes. I understand it. Thank you.
Yeah. But I also want to say, even in the positive side, it is possible to have an inobjective side, especially when you're unethical. You've heard of researchers, they're supposed to go and administer a questionnaire to a number of people. They get tired, they sit under a tree and fill out that questionnaire themselves. That automatically affects credibility and validity. Yeah. So let's just continue. Now on the innermost part, which is the data collection methods or data collection tools. So the data collection methods or tools are things we use to collect data: questionnaires, interviews, observation, secondary data, things like that. Those are our data collection tools. Now here I want to be very, very specific. Many times we confuse data collection tools with research methods. Research methods are like case study, ethnography, design science. Those are research methods. I said we shall cover those separately because they are very, very detailed. They are very extremely important. But these ones that you see here on the screen are your data collection tools. So I may use the case study method and then I carry out interviews, or I carry out observation, or I administer questionnaire. Yeah, these are my data collection tools. So in summary, we have two main philosophical positions, that is positivism and phenomenology. We have two main methods or research approaches, deductive and inductive. they should not be thought of as mutually exclusive. We can combine them. Yeah. And everything depends on your research approach affects your research questions or research objectives. Or in other words, your research objective determines what your research approach should be. Their main research methods: survey, case study, experiment, ethnography, so on and so forth. It depends on what your research problem is and what your research method is going to be. Research projects can be cross-sectional or longitudinal. Most of us are going to use cross-sectional research at master's level. It's rare to see that someone is doing longitudinal. In addition, your project may be exploratory, descriptive, or explanatory. Multi-method approaches mean that you're using you have different purposes, and maybe for the sake of triangulation. Taking care that your results are valid. So be very ethical as you collect your methods. You collect your findings. You should think carefully about the ethical issues that are implied. Seeking permission from your participants to collect data from them. Then also the ethical side also comes with literature review that you are getting from state-of-the-art articles that you are referencing your work. Look at things like plagiarism. This affects the ethical side of things. So that concludes our introductory part. Tomorrow, I want us to look at research problem formulation. Then the next area we shall look at will be research strategies. Do we have any questions so far?
Yes, Doc.
Sorry?
Hello.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, I logged in late. I might ask a question that maybe you answered earlier.
Yes, no, it's okay.
For tomorrow's lecture, are we using the same link or you will share another one?
It should be the same link, unless otherwise it should be the same link. If it fails, then
Okay,
I'll find another one. I'll make sure
it's
I
okay.
test before.
Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
Then, how will you share the recording under the PPT?
Now, immediately after this lecture, I'm going to send it to ICT. Once ICT has uploaded it to YouTube and they send me the link, I will share it in Moodle.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Doctor, sorry.
Yes, please.
Mine is not a question. You talked about groups, but in requirements analysis and design, we already have groups. Can we use the same groups?
No problem at all.
Okay, but we are more than 5.
You're more than 5.
Yeah, for MIS.
How many
No,
students?
some of us are exactly 5.
Some of you are
okay.
exactly 5. Okay, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Some of us are not part of some of these groups.
Doctor,
Yes, please.
even those groups might change the number because the lecturer for the other lecture had said, just in case new students come on board, those that were not in the first lecture,
Can
he might
again. Yes.
distribute them accordingly. So
Okay.
the numbers might increase.
Okay, no problem. So as soon as you formulate the groups, please share them with me. And then
Okay,
I input them in Moodle.
fine.
Okay. Any other question or comment?
Or maybe just confirming the time of tomorrow.
Yes, please. I think, Emmanuel, did you say 9? What time do we begin on Saturday?
It's 9.
9. Okay.
9.
Then 9 is fine.
9 up to 11.
That is okay.
Yes.
So we meet tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay.
lecture. Okay, doctor.
Okay, have a good evening, everyone.
You
Thank you,
too. Good
Doctor.
evening to you too.
Good evening too.